Hey guys, it is Shannon here, and I know I said something about that I started getting the empty faces mystery boxes. Now, it was kind of like the Hunt to Killer. I know it's been a while since I did an update, but honestly, I have been working a crazy schedule and pretty much still just taking and focusing and doing things on my kids. So this is going to be a reveal reveal video of box 1. So if you remember, if you watched it, you pretty much got the letters, you've got the notes, you've got the stuff from the hospital, and you got the rubbing here, which I'm assuming is a rubbing. It looks like a rubbing, so I'm not too sure what that means yet. I haven't quite deciphered that, but as far as this information is concerned, I did decipher this, and it's at the bottom as well, where it's sitting there saying to perform the ritual that was included in this. So in the main letter, it says something from Grace Montgomery where she said that this was something that was told to her when she was a child. So it doesn't say where you can get the decoder for it or where you can figure out how to figure out what the ritual is. But you wind up also getting a handy dandy notebook, and you also got a sage wrapping. You know, now usually sage is used to cleanse your home, your house, whichever. It removes negative spirits from you. So doing digging, if you take and you read this, alright, in this it says where Isabella or Bella and her friend Kayla had started a website. Now, I went onto that website, which I'm going to pull up here, right there. I'm going to move it. So, sorry, but I'm going to move it down here to where you guys can see it. Alright, and I'm not going to be looking at you guys so much, but to get out of here, this is the website. Alright, what on earth? This is definitely a blog from where it's from Kayla's perspective, where she's sitting there talking about everything that happened and what she doesn't understand happened to her newfound best friend, Isabella. So, I mean, it's pretty much going in there, and I'm not going to read everything on here, but, like, it shows where Isabella had a Facebook. Now, you can actually go on Facebook and you can type in Isabella Rossum, and it will pull up Isabella's Facebook, but I went through it. Isabella does not have Kayla anymore on her Facebook, and there is really only 2 pictures of Isabella on Facebook. But you can look through the pictures, and everything's pretty much set up right here with her relationship with Kayla. Now, the website is called KaylaBellaMagic.com. So if you want to go through that by yourself, you can go ahead and go through that, and this shows the pictures, where the pictures kind of just continually get a little bit darker, and it seems to me like whenever you click on the pictures that there is definitely starting to be something in the background of these pictures. The pictures kind of, she's got her little inspirational quotes. You know, the sweet little quotes of how she feels like she's finally getting released. So you go through this to where you can definitely tell that Isabella is somebody that's a shut-in. You know, where in the letters she's sitting there saying that she's using good candles to take and write with. So I can only imagine that the area that she's in has absolutely no electricity whatsoever, no plumbing, no anything, because her grandmother also says something about chamber pots. So she's pretty much out in the woods with nothing. And she goes into this, she goes into the city and she discovers the bright lights. So I got a new co-host. So anyway, a lot of her videos that she posts, a lot of the music, it's sitting there talking about basically her coming into her own and discovering who she is. A lot of, it's kind of sad music that I really feel represents what this kid's going through, the decisions that she's got to make, because if she wants to make her grandmother happy, that's just, this isn't what her grandmother wants for her, and it's just basically of release. And that's even so far as to saying about what's going on in her journal. So where her grandmother is just upset by it, just some screenshots of conversations that she's having with her best friend, you know, and just her best friend basically being confused. And there's like a lot of stuff going on where, you know, Bella's basically being exposed to this new world and she's not used to it. And, you know, so there's like pictures of Bella. It's really interesting. Like I said, the further you go into the pictures of her, you know, she's a typical teenager, beautiful young girl. And, you know, just where she's excited about meeting her friend, doesn't have like everything that normal kids have. So, yeah, a lot of, you know, updates about her parents and everything. And you can see that, like, I'm expecting or assuming that this is Bella at the library, you know, and you can see that her pictures are a little bit fuzzy. And like I said, this picture, she's sitting there saying, who took this? I don't know who took this. So, you know, she's sleepwalking, and it goes through that, and just where she's enjoying the time with her friend and explaining stuff to her friend. So, yeah, like I said, the pictures start getting a little bit more distorted, you know, with what's going on. This one's extremely distorted, you know, and yeah, so the further you go in there, like this one, to me, you can definitely see something in the background of the picture where it looks like there's a figure, you know, to the left of it. So that's just me. And yeah, that maybe this is something, to me you can see hands here where it looks like hands are trying to grab at Isabella. And you can see a figure right behind Isabella there. I mean, if you can't, sorry. But yeah, so that is everything going on with what I think is Isabella. So that's what I found from this. I'm going to go ahead and get out of that. And then the further down you go, you wind up, someone is hiding something. Like I said, you can go on this website yourself. I haven't figured out the passwords yet, but I'm assuming that's going to be in the new boxes or whatever, and I've just got to go through it and figure out the boxes. So, I mean, even here, like when they're sitting there talking about their magical stuff, it's just basically, you know, an appreciation of nature. It's not so much witchcraft. I mean, it's kind of, you know, it's pagan and it's Wiccan. And, I mean, it's not bad stuff, but you can see where the picture's definitely distorted here. And then the further you go down, she's like, a lot of stuff is locked up, as you can find out by reading it. You know, and she's confused. Kayla is the one that's still doing the website. She's confused by why everything's locked up. And this is... okay. So she's basically sitting there saying schooling and teaching and everything, where Isabella is being taught by her grandmother the ways of, I'm going to say, the craft. And right here, this is the key part of what you need to know with what this is, what this language is. This is the only way I finally figured out what I needed to look up so I could be able to decipher what this alphabet was. Because on here is the only thing that said something about what it is. Because essentially, it doesn't say anything in the letters about it being a spirit alphabet or the spiritual alphabet. So I needed to take, and I needed to do that, to take and find out what that alphabet was. So I had to decipher to figure out what this is. So, as it said, you know, it is a ritual for the saging. So, I mean, if you're anybody that's been a part of saging, you already know how to sage, you know, and honestly, it's not very difficult. But right here, this right here, this is kind of like what I based on of trying to look up, and that is Grace's name. So it's Grace that wrote that out, if you didn't figure that out. And I'm going to take and I'm going to put a little clip in here of the spiritual key that I found. I just did a search on Google for spiritual alphabet, and it popped up the alphabet for me, and I saved the clip of it, or the little picture of it, and I'm going to include it in this video, and I'll probably try to put a link to it, that way you guys can find it if that's what you're trying to do. So this I actually deciphered. It is the rite of sage stain. It is, or it's sitting there talking about put the sage in the middle of the room, ignite one end of the sage, rotate smoke to sage, entire area, repeat for all rooms, stop smoke, and place sage in pot or tin, feel peace. So that was this one. Alright, so the next one that I also deciphered was this. And honestly, it's just basically like little, you know, tidbits, quotes, you know. Strong plants are got in moonlight fields near moonlight trees. Don't step in a stream if a leap can do. Good tidings in a pocket rock. Tea kettle, kinglet said. So that is pretty much what I deciphered from this. So it was a lot of interesting stuff. If you guys are interested in it, you know, please go ahead and keep looking through it. I'm going to go ahead and just take this off right here so you guys can actually see my beautiful face. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this helps if you are stuck in, you know, box 1. I'm getting ready to start box 2 because I have another 2 boxes to go through. I'm probably going to take and do breakdowns like I did in this video, where I'm going to open up the box, then I'm going to try to decipher the codes, and I'm going to do a second video for each box. So each box is going to be a 2-parter until I figure out, and then I'll probably try to incorporate all the fun little clues that I have to take and figure out this mystery of what happened to Isabella. I hope you guys tune back in for box 2. Bye!